practical situation is that until about 10 years ago, there were no residential areas for urban Bantu people. It is only in the last few years that such areas were set aside on a planned basis and developed at a terrific pace, as you can see all around you. This housing scheme, which now houses more than 30,000 urban Bantu who work in Pretoria, was a bare plain a mere 4 years ago. I think that is a complete answer to the so-called immorality of separate residential areas. Many opponents of this policy tried to influence the Bantu people in the other direction. And like all new philosophies, like all new policies, we had to put our case to the Bantu people. And I can safely say today that the Bantu people are accepting the policy of self-development, which essentially is apartheid essentially is in an ever-increasing tempo. I feel confident that the Bantu leadership of Africa, rural and urban, will, by the turn of next year, show in a most marked way that they are satisfied that this policy leads to their salvation. That this policy leads to their salvation. This policy leads to their salvation. That this policy leads to their salvation. This policy leads to their salvation.
The year was 1971. As far as I can remember, I was staying in Midrand with the Mahlangu's family, and then I was a head boy because they had so many cattle there. And one of the most unfortunate things, what actually happened on that unfaithful day, one morning when we woke up to, poles being painted white and all those kind of things. We didn't understand actually by then what was happening until we had to find out what are these poles for, because of it seems they were planted there overnight, but when we woke up, poles had white paint. Then my grandfather had to go and find out what was happening. Then he was told that we've got a short period, we need to move, because that place by the name of Rankiesfontein, it has been taken over. And then by then what actually happened was people who were staying around there, the Ndebelés, they had to move. They had to be shared. We were told to move. Moving across, I remember myself being, ahead of the cows because of I needed to control them. We were maneuvering around Pretoria by then. With lots of cows, we were moving, I had to control them. At the same time, I had to guide them and all those kind of things. And it was a horrible thing because of it was quite a distance from Rankiesfontein to KwaNdebele. It was quite a distance. But you had no choice. You had to stop along the way. It was not just a 1 day's journey. It was sort of like, 2-3 days journey to go to that side. So we didn't have any helpers or maybe trucks that will, the forced removals and all those kind of things. We were just being told that, go, move. So hence today, the Ndebelés, when you ask them about the land, because of, I remember vividly that land belongs to them. They just decided not to fight it with the government. It was something that they were happy that they were giving a land.
such areas were set aside on a planned basis and developed at a terrific pace, as you can see all around you. This housing scheme, which now houses more than 30,000 urban Bantu who work in Pretoria, was a bare plain a mere 4 years ago. I think that is a complete answer to the so-called immorality of separate residential areas.
You enter in Bukut as well. Then once you are in Suzangu, you are in Pretoria. Like there was sort of demarcation. You couldn't even see it with an eye, but they will tell you, holy cow, you know, like you're not about America, it's like over Mexico. But yes, Shanguve, you wanna fella demarcation from the bridge, and then before the bridge, Kibo Fairfoot or go Backboard and all that. So Lumaponesa, they had their own restrictions. So only white policemen happens to be the ones about Entaragamo, especially Abanyagazuts. They were collaborating the police of Putazwan.